This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop for Friday, June 29th, and thank you all for being here. Thank you for being the real star of today's show, the pit crew, everyone here who is just here to talk sim racing each and every day, and I appreciate you being here and being part of the show. So, it's Friday. What do we got going on in sim racing? I got a few personal things I'll tell you about at the end of the show. When I say personal, I mean Simpit related, of course, not personal. Forza. So starting off with Forza, they've got their July DLC clue thread. So for everybody who's sitting on the edge of their seat, wondering what the new DLC out of Forza is going to be, they're doing their big teaser here. So in this thread, clue 1, it's not just fast. Clue 2, way cooler than the first one done by Tony Hawk in 1985. Interesting. A four-letter acronym for completely awesome. Deliverance, Army of Darkness, Gremlins, Johnny Mnemonic. What do they all have in common? It's only 16.96 miles long and has existed for more than 100 years. You should drive it. Oh, anyone got it yet? Anyway, this is their big close. So this is part of their new July car pack. Tom on top of the leaderboard with his generous donation. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for the support for the show. It goes a long way and much appreciated. It's been all over the news. But then this morning, it was all over my sim radar, funny enough. But Porsche with the 919 Evo LMP type car. I don't even think it's a full-on LMP. I think it's a purpose-built, and it's not exactly this one, by the way. This is the Gran Turismo, but with an image of the Porsche 919 at Nürburgring or Nordschleife. They broke the record with an amazing 519. I can't believe cars are running Nordschleife at 519 at this point. Project cars also with their own records are made to be shattered. Porsche 919 tribute. But yeah, congratulations to Porsche, and again, all of the games that can give you that combination, which means you can expect all the streamers to be out there like, ooh, can I do the 519 challenge? Maybe I'll do it. I didn't mean to make it sound like that, but I know that'll cause a frenzy of online attempts to do the same thing, as irrelevant as the comparison is. As much as I love sim, it's not a one-to-one situation by any means. I told you about other ones, so just since they're promoting it, I will promote it for them as well. Race Room, obviously they're part of that big Steam summer sale, so you can get 50% off on all cars and tracks, 25% off essentials. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. I think today will be my big Steam day. I gotta do it before the sale ends, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll be buying some games. We'll be adding to that Steam list. And Race Room, I already have it, but if you don't, you can get it less expensive now. OnRush, Update 2.0 is now live on the PS4. 465 megabytes and full of goodies. Xbox update is coming next week, so already seeing some new things out of OnRush. Yeah, exactly. Heavily modified LMP. That's exactly what that is. It's not exactly an LMP because it would just crush, but it was a essentially a modified or purpose-built LMP to attack Nordschleife, which is a very unique track. So, Mitchell de Jong, this kid, I call him kid. He's no kid. He's a young man, but Mitchell de Jong just cannot be beaten in the iRacing World Rallycross Championship that is now going on. OnRush energy drink. We ought to do it. We ought to take advantage of their marketing and try to ride that storm. Anyway, it was a heated battle, and as it turns out, he did have a challenger. Johan Harth gave him a run for his money, but didn't have enough to get it done, and Mitchell ends up winning round number 2. And one thing I noticed not sitting in that top 10, don't know if he even made the race, was Scott Speed. I thought he was gonna be running that. Donald, I've played Isle of Man, so I may or may not get that one. I mean, I wouldn't mind owning it. In all fairness, I played a borrowed copy. But it was a lot of fun. I haven't done the sidecars, actually. Anyway, okay, so the crew had a little issue. Just gonna blow through some things, of course. But let's just talk reaction time, give you an idea. So at 11 hours ago, hello everyone, we're currently aware Steam players are not able to play. 7 hours, an update, we're aware. We're working on it. 5 hours ago, so a total of, what is that? 6 hours from acknowledgement to the Steam key activation issue should now be resolved. So anyway, just pointing out that they're listening and they're on it. Good for them. Thrustmaster, I met Josh Martin at E3. He actually helped me out on the, not up on the stage, that's where Billy was, but down on the lower stage. But he was actually the one who gave Sebastian Loeb the instruction and got him ready to run in the simulators. So, cool picture from Thrustmaster. At that event, we saw the video from them, but just showing Josh Martin, their guy, giving a little instruction. Yesterday I asked for it, and Tim, Spatial Dragon, he delivered. I wanted to know, where can I drive a Tesla? Well, this isn't the one I had in mind. I was thinking more like the one we were talking about, but job well done. Here is the Tesla semi-truck with trailer, 2019 for American Truck Simulator. It's a mod you can get. I don't know anything about it, but what do you know? There's a Tesla to be driven in a sim. No doubt about it. Oh, this is big. So this is actually big news. Everyone pay attention. We've been following Competizione as it's made some demos at E3 and then at Misano during the Blancpain event. And now, today, 7 new videos, all within the last 2 hours, showing off various different aspects of Assetto Corsa Competizione. So this is at the Assetto Corsa official media channel on YouTube. And you're going to see some E3 tech demos, so a clean version of that, including some of the rain footage on this one. There you go. So if you want to see some of the cleanest videos, because nobody else is really allowed to capture, everyone is able to film. But this, you can see, is like first gen, and some good footage. So yeah, head over to the Assetto Corsa official media channel on YouTube, and there are 6 new videos showing off Competizione. It's going to be repetitive, a lot of the stuff you saw on our channel before and stuff you've seen from Misano. Dave, yeah, he doesn't interrupt the show nearly as much as he used to. Anyway, okay, more to blow through. Player 2, the crew 2, the need for speed is not enough. So apparently it's not satisfying their racer need. If you're interested, you're going to find that at player2.net.au. If you're looking for more information on that, Google is planning a game platform that could take on the Xbox and the PlayStation. So forget Nintendo and the Switch, and forget Nintendo with their real challenge at these two. But if Google gets into the game, that could be a game changer in the console world. Who knows how long it would take them to get support, what kind of games list, and would they really be competitive, and what would the pricing be, and all that good stuff. But, you know, one of the super giant companies of the world, Google, getting into that could be a big deal for all of us. It could take a while for it to play out. YouGov. This is today.yougov.com, talking about a place in, where was this? Not Iowa. Come on, Sean. It was somewhere surprisingly rural for them to be. Oh, no, the wrong article. Sorry. More millennials want to play the PlayStation. So apparently there's been a big spike in balance between Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and the whole gaming world. So today.yougov.com talking about that change in balance and power and how there's been a real big pickup in PlayStation domination recently. And that includes an article here at Playing Station talking about releases for 2018. So if you want to know what the latest coming out, just things we would want to know about, I see MXGP Pro. Insane Robots. What's that? That looks like pretty much it. Train Sim World. Some of our fans will be, some of our viewers will want that. And moving right along. Whoops, come on. Game Idealist, talking about a deal going on at Amazon. Officially licensed Seagate 2 terabyte and 4 terabyte PS4 game drives. So these are game drives specifically built for the PlayStation. They're on an 11 and 12% discount. So if you've been wanting to expand, looks like $79.99 for the 2 and $115 for the 4. If you want to, which is nice to do because the PS4 doesn't come with a ton of memory and it's really expensive if you want to get it that way. I don't know if that was the impression that people... I think visually, yes, Darren. I think physically and handling, it was a little more subtle. Improved, maybe, but, you know, I don't know what traction control, ABS, driving aids, wheel settings. It's so muted that it's really hard to give a fair shake in the amount of time on a stage, so to speak. But GameSpew, he can't wait to do some trucking and Truck Driver. We've talked about Truck Driver a few times over the last week. It's coming out. Basically goes on to say he doesn't play Bus Sim or the ATS or those hardcore truck games because they're too difficult. And this one is definitely more of just a player type version of a Truck Driver simulator. That's at GameSpew.com. They also have a recommendation to OnRush players saying don't be dicks to your own teammates. So I'm assuming this is some kind of multiplayer racing team event where people don't have the common sense on how to win as a team. So I understand that. We see that in Wreckfest. I was guilty of taking out my own teammates in the last Wreckfest event. Xbox Hub has a write-up on Pull on the Yellow Jersey as the Tour de France 2018 spins its way to Xbox One, PS4, and PC. My brother is browsing for an Xbox game and browsed past this one. Did not purchase it. Anyway, your Tour de France people who just can't get enough of it are going to want to play it. It is the authentic racing game of the Tour. I'd like to try it. I don't know if I'm going to pay for it. The egg.net has a write-up here on All-Star Fruit Racing. So I'll mention that, and I'm done with that. Article here at Mac Gamer HQ talking to, and I know nothing about this, but it was sent in, so I cover it. Is Mac OS Mojave the end of Mac gaming? Of course not. Anyway, they're making some operating system changes and support changes to which operating systems will be supported for various different things. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how many of you guys are Mac gamers, but I'm not. This is my thumbnail of the day. And I know so many of you know and relinquish and relive days of arcade gaming and pole position. Tom, I'm done with that. Anyway, I think a while ago we talked about the Donkey Kong World Championship, and the guys still to this day, 2018, are still going after records that might be 10, 20, 30, 40 years old in some cases. But that there is this like competitive arcade gaming scene. And there's been cheating, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, people are still going after the pole position world record score. And apparently, if you don't know the story behind it, but the original world record dates back, like, really, where is it? Really long. And blah, blah, blah. I can't find the number, but it was like 66,000 points. And it was done in a tournament in San Jose, and it was not filmed. So there's been a lot of debate about how it was accomplished, and people have done it so much that they know down to the pixel, down to the millisecond. Anyway, it's a great article, and if you want to just go back in time, twingalaxies.com, doing a whole write-up here talking about pole position and the guys who are still to this day going after it, playing. And apparently there's the Namco version versus the Atari version that came out soon after. And it's pretty funny that, you know, decades later, it's still a big deal in some circles. PC Gamer writing up about the MSI GeForce GTX 1070 Ti. I bring this up not so much because of the deal. It's a deal at $420, including a $20 Steam code. What does Ti stand for in the world of graphics cards? Do you guys know? I just assumed the GTX 1070 Ti was a way of differentiating. This is the king of kings. The 1070 Ti. How does that compare to a 1080 not Ti? I don't know. Maybe you guys can help us out. Let us know. Is $420 a great deal on that card? Maybe it's worth getting, maybe not. PC Gamer has the write-up on it. Amazon Prime. I'm only letting you know if you're a Prime member. Real quick, I'm just going to mention it's looking like this year's date is going to be midday July 26th. I'm sorry, July 16th through the end of July 17th. So, if you guys titanium, so it's like titanium connections. Ti, I assume Ti means titanium, by the way, just so you know, going back to reference of titanium bicycles. But totally insane. See, my theory is it means more along those lines. Titan? Yes, it used to be Titan. Is it short for Titan? 1080 is better than a 1070 Titan. There you go. But Amazon Prime Day will be 16th and 17th. It looks like. Prepare if you're ready to buy something from Amazon. You might want to hold off just a little bit. This blows my mind. Just do the multiplication on this one in your head and think about how much money. Just even if they only made, let's say, 50 cents. Let's say $1. What does Steam make when they sell a game for somebody else? Steam had 13.5 million new first-time purchasers. That means they bought something between January and May. So that's a 5-month span of time. Titanium is correct. It was on Take My Money Day. But just think about that. That's 13.5 new first-time purchasers. That doesn't take into account if I bought a game or any of you who already have bought something on Steam. This is new ones only who actually purchased. How much friggin' money is that? Oh my god. Oh my god, how much money is that? Speaking of Steam, Valve, they are developing tools designed to be more accurate and more useful than Steam Spy. Yep, that's right. They are tracking you. They are data mining the Steam site when you give them your name and basic information, your region, your buying patterns. Who knows, maybe in certain cookies and other things. I haven't read the agreement that I signed. But you are being mined. Make no mistake. And they are doing their best to invest it. And no, that's something that they're using, I'm sure, to adjust the system. In some cases, to sell off or give to third-party people for whatever reason. But just so you know. Prices of the first-gen AMD Threadrippers are dropping like a rock. And that's due to the next-gen that are coming out. So if you're looking to build a budget system and you want to go AMD, now might be a good time to take advantage of the price change as we see a changeover from old to new. I mean, old's a little extreme or unfair. Mitchie Flower Hoyer in the stream. How's it going, Mitchie? What else? Antec launches a new high-current Gamer Extreme Series PSU power supply. Cool looking. Funny enough, cool looking power supply is sort of funny. Usually it's tucked away in a spot you can almost not see most of what makes it look great. But anyway, it's $179 for the 850 watt and €209. I'm sorry, euro, not dollars, for the 1000 watt model. And what else do we've got? We still have a few more. The Verge has an article here about YouTube. YouTube does some funny stuff. YouTube makes changes and never tells anybody. And, you know, they want you to think of yourself as one of their creators. They want you to think like you're a family. I mean, it's really weird the way they market to the people who are providing content to them. But then the first thing they do is just make all sorts of crazy changes behind the scenes with no notice, no warning, no, like, list of changes, but right now they're experimenting with dropping thumbnails. So, like, I put up that Atari thumbnail today for a very good reason. That was one of my big topics. It was one of the stories I wanted to make people think, oh, is he really going to talk about pole position? There was a purpose to that. And what do you know? YouTube could have changed that. 0.3%. It's not very many they're experimenting with, but without me knowing or controlling, they would just do it. They would just do it. Freaking broke. That's a damn shame. I saw this a couple days ago, and I didn't really think it was newsworthy. And then it was sent in to me by someone else, and I thought, okay, well, if people are thinking it. Race department here, having an article here talking about, obviously, all the, what do you call it? The things you put up on your HUD all over the place. What do you need? At what point is it a cheat? And at what point is it too much? And I kind of wonder, what do you guys think? I mean, in some ways, a relative screen is cheating. You know, letting you know exactly where your competition is or where you stand versus your last lap. Now, I think back to karting, and even my Micron would give me my sector times, so I'd know if I was on or off my personal best. So, sure, I have that. What do they have in real racing? What do we get to use that they don't? And before you even answer that question, if you think this is too much or what is too much, live tire temps, for example, you know, or should it be restricted to what the series really have? I mean, iRacing, they're so critical about what adjustments you can make to the car to keep it real to the real life car and what adjustments they can make. But what about cheats? Live tire temps. Well, in Formula 1, maybe you get something like that. But in NASCAR, maybe you don't. And then you have to really think about the next step. We talk about esport all the time. What if you're really accustomed to certain layouts on your HUD display, certain abilities? We could argue about cockpit camera. Do you need to be locked into the cockpit to really be considered sim racing? You know, we see a classic bumper cam in this image. Anyway, from time to time, I just like to bring up sim racing things that I think are relevant conversation, even if it's in your own head. You know, where do you draw the line? What is too much? What is too far? And then, where do you draw the line when it comes to esport? SimRaceHardware.news.test blog has a write-up here that I'll give credit where credit is due. This is something that they had proposed an article to RC Alex 92 on sim racing disability, but it's showing off a 3D wrap for an accessible sim racing wheel. And you can see this modded out wheel here that has dual levers, really well done. And it reminds me of the shifters on the modern bikes, like up, down, up, shift, down, shift, and pretty easy to use 2 fingers to do that and still have most of your hand. But I thought this was a cool topic, and you can find it at Sim Race Hardware News Tests blog. This cool article talking about from Speed Maniacs, and again, I'm getting these on Translate, but it's going on to talk about the OnRush soundtrack, and I'm not going to talk about it so much or for so long, but they talk about little subtle things they do for dramatic effect, like when you jump into the air, all the bass comes out and it gets a little quieter, giving you that surreal in the air feeling. It's incorporated into the game along with what they're calling a seamless soundtrack. And of course, as sim racers, first thing we do is turn off music. But when playing a movie type game, an arcade type game, I'll take the music, and I appreciate them doing things with the music to add to the intensity of the game. So that's cool. This is the one. Yeah, so downtown Davenport. I'm like, wait, where's Davenport? It's in Iowa. I was right. It was Iowa. They're building up an esport and virtual reality facility to open in downtown Davenport. So when all those tourists come flooding into Iowa and Davenport, they'll have somewhere to go play. Apparently, I'm guessing they're going to try to use this as a draw. Anyway, just another facility for what we do being opened up. Jamie, I turned mine off, so I wouldn't even know. I I like to show you cool things. This is cool. So this was sent by Thawman. Thank you, Thawman, for a lot of the news stories and all the work you do behind the scenes. But this is a sim rig. Obviously, a play seat in a single screen, way too far from the screen. But how's that for a view? That would be a little bit of a distraction for me. That would be a little hard for me to not look outside and be like, is that a boat? Are those chicks on a boat? Oh my God. And ruin my entire race. But quite a view, quite a rig, and I'll put that up in my top sim rig sites. So right now we are at Mossport. I had a pretty good race last night at Mossport. And Mossport is a really interesting track. It is a fun track. It is a challenging track. And here's a write-up that's actually at Corvette Racing, talking about running at Mossport. And so you can find this at CorvetteRacing.com. But they talk about, like singer Aretha Franklin, Mossport International Raceway demands respect. Ask Ron Fellows. And if you guys don't know who Ron Fellows is, he is a very accomplished driver. One of my favorite drivers, actually, is Ron Fellows. But Mossport is one place you never feel you have enough laps, Fellows said. It has long, fast corners and no place to go if you make a mistake. You give that track some respect. When we began a race weekend at Mossport and my engineer asked, what do we need to go faster? I just tell him, more laps. The car's fine, but the driver has to get a little braver. Anyway, I thought this was a really cool article that was sent in, and perfect timing being that we are all dealing with and struggling with, in some cases, Mossport. And the guys in the Sim Racing System series will be there tonight at 6 o'clock. I won't be. I'm going to be sitting at home editing because I don't need a redemption Friday. And that is the way I'm doing this season. I'm going to race Thursdays. If we have a good run, then I get Friday off. If we have a bad run, then we will have to have redemption Friday. Been a while since we've seen or heard anything of Rudy Van Buren, and these are some shots of him in a vintage McLaren. So you can see all the guys there, making sure he doesn't scratch it. No, getting him in, getting him comfortable. But sometimes we forget that Rudy Van Buren is living the ultimate life of a sim racer, working for McLaren as the sim racer and development driver. And we'll have to check in with him and see, maybe we can do an interview and find out how he's doing after all this time and what his job's like and maybe what he can and cannot tell us. So that is going to do it for the news today. Just to catch you up, yesterday I filmed live the review of the Sam Maxwell Customs Dallara sim racing wheel. Filmed it live with the patron group. I am editing. That's what I'm editing all day. I'm hoping to get it out. It'll be out by tomorrow for sure. Might even get it out tonight. So that was filmed yesterday live. Also to remind you guys, Monday, 11 a.m., we will be filming the unboxing, installation, and first look at the Sim Experience AccuForce wheel. Darren Ganji of Sim Experience will be there in the chat to make sure we don't make any mistakes and answer any questions we might have. That'll be Monday at 11 for the patron group, and that'll be all footage that I'll use for the review that'll be following after a lengthy and extensive testing period. And beyond that, I have two more people to add to the map, and both of them are part of our patron group, and that's Eric and Terry, both of them hailing from Detroit. Somehow, Detroit did not have a spot on the map, but it sure does now. And welcome those guys, even though they've been here a long time. They're not new. They just realized that it wasn't on the map. Both of them on the same day. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Happy Friday to you guys. You know what I tell you every Friday. It's the weekend. Get out there, do some racing. Go after some leaderboards and send me some pictures of what you've done so we can talk about it on the show. If you have a rig worth seeing, you send that in to me. And if you ever want to be a bigger part of the crew, just talk to me about getting involved on the Simpit crew channel, and we'll get you started over there, and we'll talk about that and do some more promotion of that next week as well. So anyway, thank you for being here. Once again, have a great weekend. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.